Vladimir Putin begins his fourth term as Russian president with economic and foreign policy challenges ahead. In his inaugural address, Putin implied his focus and now shifted to domestic matters and improving the country's economy. He said, "Now we will use all the possibilities we have first of all for the resolution of internal and most essential tasks of development." Putin is set to catapult Russia into the top 5 of the world's largest economies, cutting poverty levels in half and ensuring drastic increases in productivity and technological innovation.
His overriding priority is to increase Russia's economic growth rate. The last 6 years have been focused on reducing Russia's formerly very high inflation rate, which was always above 10%. That's now been brought down to 2%, and it's now expected to remain at roughly that level, perhaps go a bit higher to 4%, but certainly not much higher than that. So now that he's achieved that, he now needs to increase the rate of economic growth.
On the foreign front, Putin's policy has been a source of public support for him at home. Over the course of about 2 decades, Putin has sought to restore Russia's power and influence in world affairs. Russia's role in Syria has also put ties with the US under greater strain. In recent years, Putin has turned to China, signing a $400 billion gas agreement and enhancing cooperation on controversial global issues such as Syria and North Korea.
The second thing he's got to do is to balance the deterioration of relations with the United States by improving Russia's relations with the other major world powers. The first and most important of these is China, but he must also, I think, look to improve relations with other countries. Iran, Turkey are 2 important countries which border Russia. South Korea, Japan in the Far East are others.
Some analysts say that Putin's new term will not see significant changes in Russian-US relations, as there is no basis for their improvement. Attempts by both countries to settle their differences in the Middle East, Central Asia and Europe have not been successful. In April, the US President Donald Trump said that relations between Washington and Moscow are at their worst ever level, including the Cold War.
As the prospects of Mr. Putin himself leaving office at the end of these 6 years, probably his last term, grow, the United States will try to shape the Russian transition in its interests. There will be growing opposition to that in Russia, and I foresee that's going to make for increasing difficulties and tensions in US-Russian relations.
During his fourth and perhaps last term as Russian president, Putin has to face a range of challenges, including a stagnant economy and a standoff with the West. These challenges might cause Putin headaches, but the veteran politician is not without options on them.